Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So it is 10:30 on a Sunday morning and I've been procrastinating going out on my long run for a little bit, which is not good. The weather's not great. I've got 22k to do, so I just need to suck it up and get it done. And then a bike session later, which will be very nice. It won't be. I don't know why I'm lying to myself. It won't be very nice. It'll be horrible. I thought today would be a good opportunity because, like I've been doing recently and I've been alluding to in my previous videos, is I've been changing my training and been experimenting with higher volume training. So I've been doing a few big kind of 30-hour weeks, or kind of hovering between 28 to 30-hour weeks. I'm in my second block of that. And so I've had a bit of an experiment with it. I'm still in the early stages of it. However, I thought it would be a really good idea to talk to you guys about my findings so far, how I've been feeling, the bad things about it, and just give you guys like the honest answer with my interpretation of training more and higher volume. It's a really hot topic at the minute because a lot of the bigger names in the sport, they do crazy hours, you know, like the Norwegians, for example, just off the top of my head. There's a lot of interest in what they're doing at the minute. Not just purely because of the volume, but it's also the massive, you know, scientific approach that they take. And that's also a route that I want to go down with a couple of videos and talk to you guys a little bit more about scientific approach and have a bit more of a scientific approach in my training as well. But let's not, you know, let's be honest, like they do a crazy amount of volume as well. And so that's something that's like really kind of out there at the minute, is high volume training, and this is kind of the reason why I've been trying to experiment with it, seeing if my body reacts to it well, if it doesn't react to it well, blah blah blah. And I thought I'd talk to you guys a little bit more about that and my findings so far. Like I said, I'm still in the early stages of it, but I've definitely found some interesting things that I think would be interesting to talk to you guys about. Thought it'd make my life a little bit easier today and run along the bike path between Bath and Bristol. It's just nice and flat, so it means I can tick the K's off pretty easily. The only issue is getting down to the bike path is like 3k downhill from where I live, so it means the last 3k of this run's going to be uphill, which I'm not really looking forward to, but oh well. Just trying to enjoy the flat while it lasts. This is like, yeah, officially the second big block of training, like high volume block. And yeah, the body's pretty tired, I'm not gonna lie, but keeping it ticking over. So with the increased training volume, things have been going really well, which is awesome. Like, it's been going really well, but there are definitely some side effects or some things that are definitely noteworthy. And for any of you out there that are interested in increasing your volume or knowing what it's like, I just thought a couple of these things could be quite useful. And number one, super obvious, super obvious, just being tired all the time, like genuinely all the time. Now, for me, I don't just train. It's, you know, I've got to manage this YouTube channel and also the T3 coaching that I do as well. All of that takes a lot of time, so it's not just the training, and that's not me complaining about it at all. I absolutely love it, and I absolutely love being busy, but it is tiring, especially when I've increased my volume. And so what I've done is, and it sounds stupid, but give myself an extra half an hour in bed every morning. Doesn't sound like it will do much, but it really has. And just try to be a bit more productive during the day. And by no means am I saying I'm the most productive person in the world. I can always improve, but by giving myself that extra half an hour in bed has helped me mentally, as well as physically. So instead of getting up at 5:30 every morning, now I'm just getting up at 6. To go along with the sleep side of things, I've actually been sleeping worse since increasing my volume.
which has been really strange because I would have assumed that I'd sleep better because I'm more tired. But it's actually been the opposite. And if anyone else out there knows the reason why, let me know. I know sleep is a very personal thing, and some people are very good at it, some people are not very good at it. Fortunately, I'm one of those people that's not very good at it, which sucks. But yeah, I've definitely noticed a decrease in the quality of my sleep since increasing the volume of training. And by no means does this mean if you increase your training volume that you'll sleep badly as well. I'm just giving you guys kind of like what I've experienced. You might not experience any of this, but yeah, it's just some insight into it for you guys. Big thing that I've noticed is food and being hungry all of the time. And when I say all of the time, let me tell you, it is all of the time. I'm eating a crazy amount at the minute. It's not all McDonald's breakfast, trust me. But yeah, a lot of fuel, and still actually like unintentionally, and I think it's just because of the training and the volume that I'm doing, unintentionally like still leaning out a little bit. So in the fitness test that I did with Tom at Body Development, I'll link that in the cards above. So we did a weigh-in and I was 76.1 kilos, which is, to be honest, a little bit heavier than I was, but I think I've just gained, you know, a lot more lean muscle from the stuff that I'm doing with Tom. And then my body fat was 9%, which, to be honest, I don't really I don't really want to go lower than that.
So I've got 2 hours on Zwift now, and the main section of that is 5 by 8 minutes at zone 3, 2 minutes easy spin. So it's not a crazy session today, just getting a bit of base in really with a 30-minute warm-up, 30-minute cool down, and then adding a bit of spice with that zone 3, but nothing too crazy. Legs are feeling a bit fatigued, so it is going to be harder than it might be otherwise, but yeah, it should still be a good session. Get this ticked off, and like I said, I'll be up at about 29 hours of training done for this week. Anyone hasn't seen it yet and is interested, my last video was a Q&A video. I'll link that in the cards above. Just runs through a few specific things about me, about my progression in the sport, and some other weird questions as well, so go and check that out. One of the questions was about erg mode on Zwift, and so for this workout, for example, I'm not using erg mode for 2 reasons. Number one is I kind of feel like for zone 3 stuff, more sustained power, I feel like it's important to find that power yourself. Number 2, the legs are feeling tired and I don't want to be locked into a power if I can't sustain it. And so if that's going to be the case, I don't know if it will be the case, I'm hopefully going to hit the good numbers, but if that is going to be the case, then I'll just knock the watts down a little bit, still complete the session, but just do it at a lesser wattage than what was prescribed. And obviously if I went with erg mode, I wouldn't be able to do that, and it would just be a slog if I wasn't feeling good. And that kind of leads me on quite nicely to my next point, which is like the next sort of side effect of bigger volume weeks that I've been doing and bigger volume training. And that is the fact that you're not always going to hit sessions properly, and you just turn into, I guess, like a bit of a zombie. Kind of get through sessions, but you never quite, I don't know, I haven't felt like I've had an extra gear. Whereas when I've been training sort of 20 to 25 hours a week, I've always felt like I've had an extra level that I could get to in training. Even just an extra 5 hours on top of that a week, increasing it to 30 hours a week, I felt really kind of like a bit sluggish and not having those confidence-inducing sessions. So for example, on Monday, I actually failed a bike session. It was really frustrating because I really wanted to smash it. It was like a key bike set. Just felt terrible, didn't have anything in the legs. And I think it's one of those things with more volume training that actually becomes really important, the planning of where you do those harder intervals and how hard those intervals can be. And just understanding that you can't do the same sort of intensity that you normally would do. Biking and running, I've generally been pretty good, apart from obviously that bike set that I just mentioned. However, because swimming is my weakness, I think that's always going to be the thing that I struggle with. And I'll be totally honest, ever since I've increased my volume, I've felt a bit rubbish in the water. And I think it is because I just don't have that extra gear, because my body is just tired all the time and it's constantly in like a fatigued state. And that's something that is absolutely fine, but it's just understanding that and not being put off by that and not getting frustrated. You know, the whole point of this high volume training is to do as much as you can and like sit just below the sort of red line and see if you can sustain it and obviously then recover. Not kind of hit these amazing sessions, have really good confidence inducing sessions, because you can't really do that when you're doing high volume training. I hope that sort of makes sense. And while I'm sat here spinning my legs, I don't really know if it does, but that's definitely another side effect, that's for sure. Hello.
Go away.
Bike session done. That is about 29 hours of training this week. Next week, another big one, and then recovering. And then it's my birthday at the end of that week. Whee! I'm getting well old. Anyway, here's Lydia. Say hi. You haven't been on the channel for ages.
Oh.
And that's why. This video is about the side effects of I'm trying to think of something funny to say, but I won't.
What?
Right, the side effects of like training more and higher volume training and my experience with it, because this is like the second block that I've done, and I want to ask you, have you noticed anything different with me over the last 2 blocks of training? Like, what have you noticed? And don't say I've been grumpy all the time.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
I haven't.
You're constantly grumpy.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Don't talk to me like that. Okay, I'm in trouble.
I come home from work and you're like, duh, I'm going to bed. Brilliant.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
You get back from work at like 10 in the evening.
No, I don't.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes, like what, once a week.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Anything else? So I've been grumpy all the time. That's number one, apparently. But I
You
don't
sleep
think I have.
badly.
I've already mentioned that. I sleep badly. Anything else?
I've
I've been a delight to live with. I've been just scrumptious. That sounds a bit weird.
Does sound a bit weird.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Anything positive, or are they all negative? No,
I've
just
got
bad things.
nothing.
Just being negative and grumpy.
Just.
Yeah. I was actually going to say, like, the increased volume does make you a little bit grumpy or a little bit groggy, but living with Lydia just makes you groggy anyway. Like, you are different.
I am a delight.
I'll tell you what you are. You are like your mum. And before you ask, that is an insult. Anne, if you're watching this...
My mum doesn't like you. Why would she watch this?
She doesn't know what social media is. She was born in the Stone Age. Ooh, savage.
How am I like my mum?
You just are. I'll tell you what you do. You make rules and then you don't have to live by them. And then you get annoyed at me for breaking the rules, but you break the rules and it's absolutely fine. And when I get annoyed at you for breaking said rules, you get annoyed at me
What
for
rules?
getting annoyed at you. See what I mean?
rules
It's
are
not
don't get
fair.
annoyed at me!
It's like you can raise your voice at me and it's absolutely
No!
fine. As soon as I raise my voice slightly,
I get sad!
you get so angry at me.
I get angry.
You do.
I get sad. We've had far too many takeaways in the last couple of
Alright,
weeks.
don't need to tell people that.
Because none of us...
Lydia! What are you doing? Don't tell people that.
Well, they know I can't cook, and then when you haven't got the energy to, it's like, shall we get a takeaway?
Yeah, I've had very little energy. YouTube.
What is it? If you haven't subscribed already, please do.
Yeah. And like the
Give
video.
this a like and comment something constructive
and
if you can.
join the Patreon if you want to support the
That
channel even
one,
more.
yes,
Yeah.
because it's his birthday soon as well, so that'll be fun. More Patreon.
More Patreon, so more
Birthday Patreon.
more beers.
Yes.
Right.
And then for my birthday.
No.
Oh.
I'll see you guys in the next video. The nenext few videos should be quite exciting with the new bike on its way and a few other things as well. So that'll be fun. What you?
Like.
New bike.